I can see the screen. The voice is also clear. If you
Yeah,
could
that's
speak
great.
a little loud, that will be really helpful.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Sure.
Okay.
I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nagaraja Immersetti, and in short, you can call me Raja. And I'm a power platform or dynamic rectifier developer in Vattenfall. I live in Netherlands, just beside to Chris. So yeah, as he mentioned, it's snowing here. It's minus 10 degrees, and I'm very happy to catch up with you all, and very happy to give my first session in the Power community. And you can follow me on LinkedIn, and of course, after the session, I'll ping you all my links, blog links, and email and LinkedIn. So let's start our presentation today. So my session is about generating better Word templates with Power Automate. And so the reason why we use Power Automate for this is I'm going to expand in the next slides. So first, what we are going to see now. So first, I would like to touch upon about why use Word templates and what are Word templates in Dynamics 365 or Power Platform, and what are the limitations of those, and so how can we overcome the limitations of those out-of-the-box Word templates. So we may not cover all the limitations, but we will cover the very important limitation which we can overcome using Power Automate. And the next we will see about what connectors we use to implement this, and we will see some live demo, and we will and the final we will see about what are the advantage of using this Power Automate to generate the templates. So first of all, like what is Word template? So maybe most of the people who joined in this meeting might have already known this and might have tried this already, but I would like to touch upon about Word template just because there might be some people who are new to this. So what are Word templates? It's nothing but like document format, which can be used to maintain the consistent communication to the customer from any organization. And to basically standardize your formatted document, and to make sure that all documents that go out of from your email address or from your organization to customers in a consistent look and feel. And so saying that, having said that, so let's go to our next slide. So here you can see maybe people who might have already tried this, so get some idea like how what is this about. So let's see some template in Dynamics 365 itself. So for example, I have a quote. So I have created a code. I want to send this code to the customer. So how do I send? So Dynamics 365 Power for Platform gives out of the box features. So that is Word template, and out of the box by default. So there are some templates created already for use. So those are like code summary, print code for customer. For example, let's try this. So when you click on this one, it will prompt you to download one template. So this is nothing but the data is coming from the code that I generate this template. So if you see here, so all the amount information, price information, and the shipping address, and the customer information I'm showing here in this template. And so this is pretty much cool, right? So you can buy it within just one click. You can generate this template and you can send it to the customer. So let's see how it is done. How can you do that? How can you generate a template? So unfortunately, we can't edit the out-of-the-box templates. What you can do is, so you can download an empty template, and you can insert your text, and you can design your pretty own template, and you can upload here. So let's try to download a template. So while downloading a template, it gives you an option like for which entity. So this is code. By default, we are generating the template on code. So this gives you code option. And what are the related entities? 1:n means like 1:many. So what are the data that you want to show on the template? For example, let's select code products. So and the n:1 relationship, which is nothing but lookups on the entity. So suppose if you want to show some information which is related to lookup, for example, account and contact. So you can select this, and you can select if you want to insert data of NS2N relationship, but I'm not going to do that for now. So you can download the template. So what it does is like it will download the empty template. So I'm not doing that now because I already have a template downloaded. Let's see this. Excuse me about the font and look and feel. So my main motto was to explain the technical details of this. So when you download this, the empty template will be created, and you can insert your text. And so when you download the template from there, so you should go to Developer tab and XML mapping pane. So here you need to change the XML custom XML part to CRM document template. So here you see the code name because we downloaded the template for code. And when you expand this, so you get all the fields that are related to code, and the code details, nothing but code products and the customer information that we selected, and the contact. So you can see all the fields related to this. So how do we develop this template? So here, if you see, I have this. This is a content control. So plain text content control. So how do we add this? So for example, let's try here. So I want to show the date. For example, if you see the modify down here, so I just need to right click and insert content control and the plain text. And one more thing I want to mention here is like it's only plain text and picture types of content controls are supported in this out of the box templates. And so we need to select plain text. So this is nothing but a placeholder or content control in technical term. So the data from that code, the modified on, will be populated here. So like that, you can generate the template like however you feel. And one more thing to mention is like how you generate. Suppose, for example, for code, I have multiple products, so I want to show these products in the code template. So it's not similar to that just a column that we mentioned here, just modified on. So what we need to do is like we need to create a table. Let's insert a table. And so for each and every column, so you need to mention like what is the column that you want to show. So here in the code, so that the fields that we want to show is related to code products. So here, when you expand it, all the fields will be there. So for example, product name. So I want to show product name. So just click here, and I want to show, for example, base amount. So let's click here, and I want to show some other field. You can click here, and what you have to do is like you need to select this row, and right click here in the code products, code details. So you just need to select repeating. So it will add another repeating content control here. So when you add this and when you upload this, so the way you upload is, so you can go to here and you can upload template here. I have uploaded mine here. So when you upload this, so this is available for like generating the document, and you can click on this. So now again, the template is created. So you can see the data, my new document template. So this is easy, pretty much easy, easy stuff. And anyone from business side can generate this, can modify this template and upload this template there, and they can reuse it. So this is simple and very underrated feature, and which can be used much more. But there are some limitations of this. For example, there are quite many limitations, but I just want to highlight about only few. So for, first thing, main important thing is like we can only show the data which resides in Dynamic 365 or CDS. and we can't show any external data because this is inbuilt feature in Dynamics 365. So only fields created in Dynamics 365 can be inserted there. And so if you see here, suppose I want to send that template as an email, and for example, assume a scenario, I want to send this template to multiple approvers, and based on the approval status, suppose if all approved, then I want to send this to customer. Assume that scenario, but and if agent wants to do that using this out of the box template, so that takes few minutes and multiple clicks, and that takes much time. So there we can utilize Power Automate, and using Power Automate, so we can pretty much overcome those limitations. So as I said, I want to touch upon only these, the orange colored limitations. One is like, I'll show in the Power Automate how to get the data from external system, that is OneDrive or SharePoint, and how you send that template as a PDF to multiple approvers within one click. So that's what I want to show today as part of the demo. And so how I'm going to do, what is the connector that I'm going to use to make it possible. So the connector is Word Online Business. So this is a premium connector. This is not free, but most of the organization by default have this license, Word Online Business license. So it's okay to use this license. And this is the connector name, Word Online Business Connector, and we have two actions under that connector. So one is populate Microsoft Word template. So using this action, so we populate the data inside that Microsoft Word template, and we will eventually convert that Word document to PDF. So before we go to flow, so first thing we need to do is like generating a template, so which can be used here in this action to populate data which is coming from other multiple sources, CDS or SharePoint or OneDrive. So that template is nothing but this one. So here we can pretty much start from empty Word. And what you need to do is like, here we don't have any XML, any CRM field data. So what we need to do is like, you should go to the same developer tab, and here you have controls, content controls. You have plain text control, and you have image control, and you have repeating section content control, which is to show multiple products or multiple 1:1 relationship or N:1 relationship data. So here in my example, so I have created placeholders for this. So these are all plain text control and two image controls and repeating control. So here, this image is nothing but I want to show that how to retrieve the data from image that is stored in CDS field. So like recently Microsoft introduced a field type like file or image. You can pretty much upload an image, and that is nothing but here. You can see here I have uploaded the roof image. This quote is nothing but selling a solar panel to customer. So I work for a company which sells solar panels and like solar roofs and electricity, all those things. So I have uploaded a file here. So I want to show this image here in this template. So that's why there I have created a placeholder. So this is nothing but image content control, picture content control. And I want to, as I mentioned earlier, like I want to get data from external system, which is OneDrive. So for that, why to take easy example of just a field. So I want to take image from external system, which is OneDrive. So for that, I created a placeholder, which is nothing but a picture control. And as I said earlier, like we are going to show multiple products, the products related to that quote. So this is pretty much the template I have created here. It's simple. You just need to add the content controls and design however you feel like. And so let's go to just high level view of what my flow does. So here, hope you all know about this, like Cloudflow, like Power Automate is renamed to Cloudflow again. And the trigger is like, for this demo, I just set up a simple trigger, which is nothing but when the record is selected. In my case, when the code is selected. So, and what I'm going to do, what are the actions that I'm going to do in the flow? So these are the actions. So one is I'm getting the code products and related information. So I just want to show the account name and all. For that, I'm retrieving the data from CDS. So here I'm showing the CDS icon, which is nothing but the source of the data. And get image content, as I mentioned, like I want to get that roof image from that code entity. So I want to use the action that we have in CDS to get the image content. And I want to get product images, as I mentioned, like here in the template. I want to show, suppose I am ordering a panel type. I'm ordering a solar panel. So based on the panel type, suppose we have multiple panel types, type A, type B, type C. So based on the panel type, I want to show that image here. Suppose if I select panel type A, so type A, how it looks like, that image I want to show here. So that customer feels, okay, this is the panel that I'm going to get. And for that, we have stored that product images in OneDrive. For that matter, we can store it anywhere, and we can, as you know, as you start using Power Automate, so the automation is open. The gates for automation is open, and you can pretty much get the data from any system, provided that you have connectors or you have custom connectors for that. So in my example, I'm connecting to OneDrive and getting the panel type image here. And so, as I mentioned earlier, like, so I'm going to use the connectors from Word Online Business to populate the old template and convert that template to PDF. And I'm going to use SharePoint to store that PDF in the SharePoint. So just for my storage purpose, and I want to send this document with the generated code to approvals. Like for example, like I want to send that code to my managers, multiple my if I have 5 managers, I want to send that code to 5 managers for the approval. And after that, so after getting the result from approvals, it's up to your imagination, whatever you want to do. For example, I want to send that code to customer after I get all approvals, if all say yes. So I can do that, but for this demo, for the time being, I'm going to focus only till here. So after that, like as you know, like it's up to us whatever we can do. Sending sending the code to customer, that all we can do. And let's go to demo. So I have set up a flow here, and let's generate this template using this flow. So as I mentioned, like I have created a flow. So the trigger is when the record is selected. So that's why I can see this flow, the flow name here. So I'm clicking on this. Just pray to the demo gods that it will be successful. So thankfully, the flow run has successfully started. So let's go here. So this is the flow that I mentioned. So, and bear with me with my internet connection. Yeah, so it's running, as you see, it's running. So you can see the steps that I configured here. So hopefully all are successful, and till creating the PDF, all are successful, and we are just start and wait for an approval. If you see here, it's just waiting for my approval. So if you see here, so I got an email for my approval. So for the time being, for the demo purpose, I just send that code to myself itself. So once I approve that, so like this, we can send multiple approvals, and we can configure here saying that. So let's open the flow design. So first part is like the trigger when the record is selected, like I mentioned, when the quote is selected. So this trigger is that, and I'm using CDS action to get the image content from the code field. Like for example, I'll show you what is that action about. So here, this is the action that nothing but this. So here, this is the default out of the box action. With the CDS connector. So you can select the table name. So for example, in my case, it is quote and the record ID. So here, this is the unique identifier of that code, so which comes from this trigger, and the column name. Suppose, for example, if we have multiple image columns in that code table, so we will get multiple options. So in my case, I have only one column, so that's nothing but roof image. So this is the action that I use here. The same thing here. Let's delete this, and I'm getting an image. And so if you see here, I'm just composing that. So here what we get is we get the content of that image. So we need to convert that to base64 and create an array like this. So to populate this image in the Word template, and I'm getting some information from account and code products. As I said, like I'm retrieving the code products here. So which is very simple. You just pass the code ID and retrieve the code products. So here the main part is, so this one, populate a Word template. So this is nothing but action from the connector Word Online Business. So here, if you select here, so we have two actions. One is populate a Word, Microsoft Word template, and once you populate that, converting that Word document to the PDF. So that is nothing but this. And here, what are the parameters? So if you see here, these are the all like content controls, whatever I get from that Word template. So if you see this Word template that I designed, so here, this is the content control. And when you click on the properties, so you can give a name, for example, title. So here I gave quote ID as a title, and for all fields, I gave some titles. So that's what you see here in the Power Automate. So all those will be here. So as I said, like those are nothing but placeholders. So you can get data from any system in the before in the previous actions, and you can pretty much populate any kind of data here. So that's where I said, like, as soon as you use the Power Automate, so then the door opens for automation. So and as I mentioned, like I want to, I said I'll show how to get the images from OneDrive as well. So here, so if you see here, based on the panel type, as I mentioned, like if I'm going to sell panel type A, solar panel type A, based on the panel type, I'm getting the image. So this is action from OneDrive. So let me show what is that action. So OneDrive for business. So there are multiple actions. So what I took is get file content here. So based on the file that you mentioned, so you can give the pretty much that folder here. So for the time being, like I just gave, because I have only two types, so I just gave directly the image here. But it's up to you. Based on the condition, you can get that image, and so you get the image content here. You just need to, when you are populating the Word template, you just need to use the compose action so that you will again format like this, and you will convert that content to base64 format, and you can compose like this, and you can pretty much mention this here in the house roof. So this is nothing but the image control. If you see here in my template, so even for this image control, I gave some names, panel image, and you can see here that you got those names here. And you can pretty much copy that image, and you will see that in the template that you created. But I'll show you that in few moments. One more thing that I want to mention about is the products. So here the products is like 1:1 relationship, and I'm retrieving those data here from the retrieve code products, and I'm converting that data in an array format. So I'm retrieving here, and I'm converting that data into array, and I'm appending that to an array. So this is nothing but an array action. So and you can use it here. So you can pretty much mention like the columns of that products. So which is nothing but, so if you see here, I'm mentioning the column and the name. So which is nothing but the name of the content control that I mentioned here in the row. So the name should be the same, and you can populate the data, and it can pretty much populate in the Word template. And so, and once I do that, so I'm creating like this action only populates the data into that template. So we need to create a file inside some storage. For example, in my case, like I'm creating a file in the SharePoint. So I'm creating here in the docs format, and by default doesn't give you in PDF format. So it just give you in the docs format. So that's why I'm creating here initially in the docs format. And once I do that, so I want to use the same action, which provide. I want to use the other action which provides this online business. Word Online Business provides. So this is nothing but convert Word document to PDF, same name. And here you give the location of that file that we created earlier, um, and you will convert this action will convert automatically that template, that Word document, and create file content in PDF document. So now I'm creating again that file in the SharePoint, and I'm deleting the Word document that I created before in the docs formats, because I don't want to, I don't need that. So I have created a PDF that's enough for me. And as soon as I create the PDF, so I want to send that PDF to multiple approvers. In my case, like as I said, I'm just sending it to myself, and I'm attaching that PDF also. So if you see here, I got this approvals, and I got the template, the code as well. So let's open this. So if you see here, I got the roof image, and I got the panel type image. So for this code, I selected panel type here. So that's why I got this image. For example, if you store multiple images, you can pretty much retrieve any file, and you can show it here in this image control. And I got this repeated control, which stores this the products, the code products, and pretty much the code information. So this it's the template's up to you. You can design however you like, and the only thing about to need to notice these controls. So the plain text control and image control you can pretty much use. And so having said that, so you can see we can get information from OneDrive, and for example other system. For example, like in many organizations we don't store the price information for products. Like we have an ERP system which stores the price information. So you can pretty much get that information from the other system, and you can populate in the Word template. So using out of the box template, the drawback is like the data should reside in CRM, and otherwise like you can't show that data. So that's where we are hands are tied. Like we can't get the data from external system, it's usual scenario that we should use the data from external system, whether it can be ERP or suppose, for example, the account information we can't sometimes, like, we don't store it in CRM application, and maybe we store it in some ERP application, SAP, or other public data. So where we want to show account related information, for example, like that their IDs, unique IDs, the government IDs, all those things. If you want to mention that in a template, so that you can call that data source easily using Power Automate, and you can get that information you can populate here. So like this, like, you can overcome few drawbacks of out of the box generate templates, but like if you want to generate simple templates for the data resides in Dynamics, and if you don't want any development effort, so then you can pretty much use the out of the box template. But where some scenarios comes up, like I want to send this code to multiple approvals, or I want to get information from external system, or I want to store these files in some location, not in the CRM. So those kind of things, like if you want to do that, then Power Automate can help us to generate these templates and pretty much store in whatever location you need. And like, as I said, like, once you use the Power Automate, it's up to you. It's up to your imagination and what you want to do later after generating this template. And that's pretty much about the demo. Like, I just want to touch upon, like, what are the advantages. As I mentioned, like, Power Automate is a lot of scope for automation, and you can pretty much get data from external systems and multi-level relationship. This point I forgot to mention. So in the out of the box template, you can get only one level relationship data. That means, in simple terms, suppose I have a account, I have contacts related to that account. Only till that level I can get that information. Suppose if I have another table which is related to that account, so that is second level to the account, so that I can't get that information in that out of the box or template. So there you can pretty much retrieve that information from Power Automate, and you can mention in that template. And as I said, it's less clicks. So I just send that template to approval to my managers within one click. So I didn't use anything apart from clicking on that flow. So within that one click, so I can send these documents for approvals, and after that, like, I can pretty much do anything which can be configured and flow. So the only thing is, like, you need to spend some time designing this flow. So that's where you spend some time. Other than that, like, the agents, customer service agents, or business users who are going to use that application, so don't need to spend much time on that. And so that increase your satisfaction of the agents and performance of the system. So that's pretty much it is. I think I kind of wrapped it up within 34 minutes, which I didn't expect. And I think this is my first session, so I don't know how to manage this time. Maybe I was too fast, or I don't know. Like, if you guys have any questions, uh, I'm I'm happy to take up those questions and answer if I can. Yeah. Okay. Can this be done on PowerPoint? So you mean generating this template in the PowerPoint? No, I'm not sure. I never tried this. Maybe if someone knows in the session, like, they can ping how to do that. So how the line items are populated, the repeatable row, I mean. So if you see here, so I'm pretty much creating a column, a plain text control here for each and every column. So which is nothing but, in this case, the product name and the quantity and the unit price and the total. Total is nothing but unit price multiplied by quantity. So I create a placeholder here, and what I do is like pretty much I did for the out of the box template. So I should select this, sorry. So I should select this row and go to this here, and here you can see repeating section control. So you just need to click this. So that control will come here, and you don't need to do any other thing. So you just need to do this, and in the Power Automate, so you just need to like compose that data. In my case, like code products in an array format. So here I'm creating an array, and you can pretty much mention that array here. Um, so in the product table and the products. So here this is nothing but a repeating section control, and you can pretty much give that. And that and if you ask me that question, like how it is how it finds the right column. So that's where as I said, I'm giving the same name as I gave here in the template. So if you see here, the properties, the name is product name. So I'm giving the same name here. That's how the Power Automate understand this, and the action in the populate word template understand this and pretty much populate the data in the repeating section control. And so can you commit the content control items so that they become a part of the Word document when it's created via Power Automate? So here content control is just for creating the template. So using that template, and you need to generate another copy of the document and store it somewhere, and you can pretty much convert that document to PDF. So the reason why I stored it in PDF is like it's the format, like when you are sending some quote information to the customer, so it shouldn't be editable, right? So that's why the reason why I converted that to PDF is that. And maybe there might be some other scenarios, like not only code templates. You can pretty much use Power Automate to generate reports, like schedule wise, and get data and populate it in this Word. So you can use that, but content controls won't come in the copy of the documents. That's just a placeholder which can be used to fill the data. And how to sort the data in Word table. Yeah, it's a limitation in out of the box template. So you can't sort the data in this. Let me show here. So you can't sort the data here. So this is out of the box, like however it comes, that will show here, and you can't filter the related records here. So for example, here I have two products. If I want to show only one product, so I can't do that. That's out of the box template. So there is limitation there also, like you can't filter the related tables. But in the Power Automate, so it's up to us, like it's opening doors for us. Like when you are retrieving code products, so you can pretty much filter any product, and you can mention the order by also. So that's nothing but sorting, and you can mention when you converting that to array, and when you are mentioning that array here, so that by default it sorts. So you can use order by and filter query to filter and sort these products, the related entity data. So I noticed that content controls don't open in Word Online. So what do you mean by Word? Yeah, so I forgot to mention one more thing. So this may not work in the Word Online. it only works in the desktop app or the online app. So that's pretty much that you use. But you can open that document, generate document in the Word online as well. But when you are generating the template, you need to generate template in desktop app. Yeah, and the blog post. So as I mentioned, like I'll give you the details at the end of this session. My blog. So I didn't write blog on this topic, but soon I'm going to write it, and hoping that it will be helpful to you. But so I'm going to write it on the blog, and I'll mention my blog here so you can refer whenever it is open. Yeah, so indeed, like there are many things to play with. This just the basics of using this template, and there are many other things that we can start exploring. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I think Yash or Raj. So now it's the floor is up to you. I think, and thank you all for attending this session, and hope you all are having a great time today. So we all have we all have learned so much information today, and I would like to thank Raj and Ash for organizing this for these 3 days. So good job, guys. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Raja, for presenting, and I'm sure we've learned quite a bit. And please, can you share your social media links on the chat so that people can
Sure.
connect with you over there? If
Yeah,
they have
sure,
any
definitely.
questions, they
Yeah.
can reach out. Yep. And meanwhile, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to post those on the chat. We have Raja here for a couple more minutes. And since we have some time before the session, if you want to go grab some coffee, please do so.
And just to add to Yash's point, we will be giving away several copies of Eichel Mendoza's Power Apps Cookbook. So he is online in the next 10 minutes. We will have Eichel Mendoza, who is the author of the new Power Apps Cookbook. So make sure you stay tuned, grab yourself a coffee, and we will see you shortly. So we've kept Eichel towards the end of the day. And then finally, we finish off with Kirill. And then we continue with next week, where we have the RPA track, the RPA and UI automation track next week. If you want to start learning the RPA, which Kent Weir showed us yesterday and the day before. So for those who are interested in the UI automation and the RPA, next week, that's what we'll be focused on. It'll just be Saturday. It won't be all 3 days. It'll be Saturday next week. And then for those who want to learn more about Azure and PowerShell administration, well, that's the week after, right? So there's still lots more content to cover on your journey to becoming an automation consultant. So thank you Thank you, Raja, for sharing your connection details. And again, thank you, Raja, for your last presentation. It's a very highly valuable session on generating these types of documents. Structuring and formatting these documents using Power Automate is definitely a common use case.